This is Steve with Don't Get Played, and I'm bringing a video to you. It's for educational purposes only. Viewer discretion is advised because some people will be offended. Some will find very good meaning in this video. But guess what? It's rated truth. Now, I'm going to tell you something about me. Um, I got a YouTube channel. I done put out a few videos, but as things progress with Trump and his fake news situation, a lot of time YouTube and stuff like that, all these different platforms we on, they are blocking you, and you don't even understand why you're not getting the views. First started off, I was getting plenty of views. Now I don't get nothing. So this is basically for friends and family. Took a lot of work to make this video. I hope you enjoy it. At the end of the day, I know some of y'all gonna disown me. I really frankly don't care, because truth is truth. A lie is a lie. Something is blue, it's blue. That don't mean it's red. Just check it out. And at the end of the day, whether you receive it or you don't, that's within your own spirit. Today we're talking about what is the Great Delusion. I mean, I know in a good book it talks about you're gonna sing you a strong delusion. We're gonna see what is the Great Delusion. What is it all about? Are we waiting for it? Is it on its way, or is it come now, or has it been here? We're gonna talk about all that because at the end of the day, we do want to know where we stand, right? I mean, I'm sure we do. John 15:20-21. Remember the word that I say unto you: the servant is not greater than his Lord. If they have prosecuted me, they will also prosecute you. Well, what do you mean by that? When you speak the truth, you're gonna be hated from all around, right? That's what he's saying. This ain't interpretation. That's what he just said that. See, y'all gotta understand the difference between interpretation and fact. Like I say, if I tell you the car is blue, that means it's blue. Don't mean it's red. You can't change it. You can't take what I say and add your own words to it. And that's what we go through a lot nowadays. Isaiah 28:10. For precept must be up on precept, precept upon precept, line upon line, line upon line. Here live, there live. What it's saying there is you can go, this is not interpretation, this is fact. You can go from one book to another book. One book might start it off, the other book is going to finish it, and they both going to say the same thing. Ezekiel 4:13. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, whither I will drive them. Now he said he's going to drive them to the Gentiles, they're going to eat the defiled bread, right? That's what it say. Ezekiel 23:30. I will do these things unto thee, because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen, and because thou art polluted with their idols. We're going to get into idols in a little bit. But also, did you just hear that? He said he going to send you amongst the Gentiles, and you're going to eat the defiled bread. And he said he doing that because why? You are polluted with idols. And you whoring after the heathen. You're chasing up behind the heathen, right? We're gonna see how you chase up behind the heathen. We're gonna see how you do that. Ezekiel 20:32. And that which cometh into your mind shall not be at all, that ye say, we will be as the heathen, as the families of the countries, to serve wood and stone. To serve wood and stone. See, he just said you're gonna be following other idols. What is idols? Wood and stone. What is wood and stone? We're gonna get to that. 2 Kings 17:15. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them. And they followed vanity and became vain and went after the heathen that they were round about them, concerning whom the Lord had charged them, that they should not do like them. All right, he just told you don't do like the heathen. He told you don't be like all these other nations, right? He say, now, I'm going to go back to the first part of the verse where it say, and they rejected his statutes. That don't mean a statue. Not a statue that's made of wood or stone. You do realize gold and silver, all those precious metals, it comes from stone. Look it up. He's talking about something else that is written in the scriptures. And I believe Exodus, Genesis, all that stuff. Ten Commandments. That's statues. All right, we're gonna move a little forward. Psalms 44:11. Thou hast given us like sheep appointed for meat, and has scattered us among the heathen. So he done scattered you among the heathen. That's what Psalms say. He done scattered you among the heathen already. So where you think you at right now? Who is your teachers? Okay. We're gonna move on. Lamentation 1:3. Judah is going into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude. She dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. All her persecutors overtook her in the straits. Judah is in captivity among the heathen. It just said it. It done said it again. See, as you can see, I'm giving you precept on precept, line upon line. What's going on is, it's telling you. It's telling you. It don't take a rocket scientist to figure this stuff out. It's telling you. You want to be like the heathen so much. You want to follow other gods. What happened with Moses? Well, Moses went up to go talk to God, and he came back, and they was making a golden calf, right? And he broke the 10 Commandments. Why? Because they making an idol. Man, come on, man. Matthew 13:15. For this people's heart is wax gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed, lest at any time they should see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and should understand with their heart, and should be converted, and I shall heal them. All right. I'm just talking because at the end of the day, everybody want to everything explained to them because of course we don't read. So it say you ain't gonna hear nothing. You ain't gonna hear the truth. You ain't gonna see the truth. Unless you see with your eyes and hear with your ears and understand and be converted. Why you gotta be converted? Because he just told you all you doing is follow up behind the heathen, right? Now, I ain't gonna read every one of these because we're gonna go through this about 5 times. I'm gonna just skim through them a little bit, but we'll go through them anywhere from 5 to 10 times just to show you that the Great Delusion. They're showing you the strong delusion. That's what they're showing you. Check it out. Make the heart of the people fat. Make their ears heavy. Shut their eyes. I'm just giving you a little time to read it, but it's saying the same thing. It's saying the same exact thing as the first one I just read. We'll go to the next one. For the heart of the people is wax gross. That's the same thing I read the first time. Same thing. First was in Matthew, this one in Acts. This is the New Testament. A lot of this gonna be in the New Testament. Since that's all we tend to want to read, right? Believe me, you can't start a book by reading in the middle. You gotta start a book by reading in the beginning. You can't have a car without wheels, right? What you gonna do? Float everywhere you go? Come on, man. It don't make sense. Ezekiel 12:2. Son of man, thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and not see. They have ears to hear and hear not. Same thing. It said it again. Romans 11:8. According as it is written, God have given them spirit of slumber eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear, until this day. Until this day. Say that again. Until this day. But we want to, think we all got it. We all got it. We all know everything, right? This is funny, man, because, if we actually read it ourselves, man, I mean, it's very important. We read it ourselves and we'll get our own understanding. But that's not what we do. We don't do that. Daniel 7:25. And he shall speak great words amongst the Most High, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand. All right. Well, with that being said, what? He should speak great things against the Most High. He should change times and laws, and it's going to be given to him. All right. We're going to see if we can find another one that say the same thing. Are we under the Great Delusion, or are we waiting for the Great Delusion? So are we under it, or is it already here? We're going to find out, because this is very important, man. And these things that's being talked about right now, this is not no opinion. This is not interpretation. This is just straight truth. And a lot of us don't understand it, and a lot of us don't want to hear the truth. And we're going to see that in this book, too, in this video too. Matthew 24:4. And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. Isaiah 1:3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doth not know. My people don't even consider. Exodus 20:8-10. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy work. But the seventh day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your manservant, nor your maidservant. No cattle, no nothing around there should do no work, and no stranger within your gates. Well, we're gonna have to figure out what day 7th day is, because evidently we don't know. Like I say, you're gonna sting you a strong delusion. He gonna send you, you're gonna be blind, you ain't better hear, you ain't better see. So we'll see if we can help people out. And it's all about just reading the scriptures, that's all. Genesis 2:3. And God blessed the 7th day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. So he did everything for 6 days, and then the 7th day he rested. Exodus 31:15. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest. Holy to the Lord. Whosoever do any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Now, come on now, guys. You see what the words say, but of course, people change days and time, and we are also in a land that's not ours. And we're also still very well being oppressed. So at the end of the day, we have to do what these people tell us, right? But the main objective of the game is try your best with all your heart to do what it say. If it can't be done, it can't be done. But if you believe enough, it will be done. All right. Well, today we'll talk about the 10 Commandments. The 10 Commandments. I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna go over 1 and 2. But 4 is what we're talking about right now. 1 and 2 gonna come a little bit later. Thou shalt not have no other gods before me. 2. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. And what number 4 say? Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 2 Thessalonians 2, 9 through 12. Even him who is coming is after the working of the Satan, with all power and signs and lying wonders, and with all deceivableness of unrighteousness in them that perish, because they receive not the love of the truth, that they might be saved. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just talk about that, because evidently we don't understand that. He's saying that the one that's coming, and we got to remember, he wrote this a long time ago. The one that's coming is a liar. He don't believe in it. He all about unrighteousness, right? And the people receive not the love of the truth. They don't want to hear the truth. They want to hear what's being told to them. They want everything to work in their favor. They want to, everybody want to be told what they want to hear. Bam. And for this cause, God shall send them strong delusion, that they shall believe a lie. Oh, that see, didn't I just say we're gonna go back to that? That's it right there. They shall believe a lie. That's it. That they all might be down who believe not the truth, but have pleasure in unrighteousness. How you have pleasure in unrighteousness? I mean, do something wrong, and a person you look up to tell you, "Oh, it ain't bad. You ain't do nothing. He gonna forgive you." All that stuff, right? Right. Romans 14:6. He that regardeth the day regarded unto the Lord. All right. Most of us ain't gonna understand it. But if you're gonna set a day up, say we got all these different days, you're gonna set a day up, set it up for the Most High. Because He gave you days to celebrate. He gave you days to have fun. He gave you days to enjoy. He gave you all the holidays. And he that regardeth not the day of the Lord, he doth not regard it. That means, do you get it? Do you understand? Only regard the days of the Lord. That's all it means. Come on, man. But anyway, I got this calendar up here because I had a lady tell me that the seventh day of the week was Sunday. And I said, ma'am, you got to check the calendar. She said, I don't care what you say. You go to work on Monday. The first day is Monday. Like, check your calendar. The seventh day is what day? Saturday. What day we keep holy for the Most High? Sunday. So if he tell us keep it holy Saturday, which is the seventh day, which is the Sabbath day, and we keeping it holy on Sunday, why did it just say that over 5 times to keep it Saturday? If it's not important, that's very important. We're gonna see why it's important. Let's see, because it did say that someone gonna come and change the laws and time. Let's see. In 325 AD, Pope Sylvester officially named Sunday the Lord's Day, and Constantine labeled it the day of the sun. So when you go to church on Sunday, what are you actually celebrating? If the Most High God told you do it on the Sabbath, but because this man you highly respect changed it, does that mean that's okay? Not whatsoever, because he said, I changed not. When he laid the law down, that's the law, right? Okay. We got popes up here. 1, 2, 3. Probably a couple of them the same. I'm not really paying attention to them. But we got popes up here, and what they holding up? A picture, a sun. An image of the sun. That's what they're holding up right there in their hands. Well, what is Sunday? Constantine say the day of the sun, right? You see this one right here with that cross on it on your right, the lower one got a cross on it. We're gonna talk about that in a minute. But I just want to know if God say do it this day and man change it to this day and have the whole world doing it to the opposite day of what the Most High said, is that okay? Well, it don't matter. I'm still serving God. How? If it's the day of the sun, man, y'all crazy. I can't go no. I'm gonna keep going. What is this right here, guys? Do y'all see that? Do you see the snake? Do you see it? You got two eyes, got two teeth. You see the head. You see it. You see what's in his mouth. We're gonna get a close picture on that. But I just want you to pay attention to this picture right here. What that say? Inside the Vatican. Well, who sits in the Vatican? Where is the Vatican? It's in Italy, Rome, whatever. But at the end of the day, guess what? It's the same people who changed the day from Saturday to Sunday, right? The same people with the Israelites who killed Jesus, right? The Romans, the Romans, and the Israelites killed Jesus. Why? Because they followed up behind who? You just read it. You just read it about 5 times. All they want to do is be like the heathen, right? Do you see right there what that say? Well, what it's showing, you have a man with wings, a man body with the head of either a snake or a dragon. One of them. And what is that all next to it? See, if you read the book of Joshua or you read the Holy Bible, it tells you about a mighty hunter. Well, what is a mighty hunter? He's a mighty hunter for God. What is that? Is this interpretation or you got to keep reading? You read it in the Bible, and you read it, and the book of Joshua is spoken of in the Bible. See, they took this guy, right? Not this guy, but um, that group of people took many books out of the Bible. And if you read these different books that's lost from the Bible, it'll tell you what a mighty hunter is. It's a taker of souls. So what do you believe he's sitting up on right now? What you believe is behind him? And it's supposed to be the most holiest man on earth. Remember, the Catholic Church teach you they are the messenger. The only way you can talk to the Most High God is through them, right? You got to talk to them through their window, tell them all your secrets while they laugh at you, right? I'm just saying. Revelations 14:12. Here's the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. The commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Say that again. The commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Because a lot of us don't understand it. I mean, we've been taught something totally different. Matthew 5:17 through 18. Think not that I come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. 18. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. I'm going to say that again. For verily I say unto you, till heaven and earth pass. This is Jesus talking. One jot or one tittle shall in no wise pass from the law till all be fulfilled. What has been fulfilled? I'm just saying, man. We taught that we don't have to abide by no law, right? Malachi 3:6. See, the Most High God and chose so group of people, and he gave them laws and statutes to go by. And what he say? All you want to do is follow behind the heathen. We don't even respect each other. 6. For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Okay, so he said, I change not. So who telling you that the law is done away with? He said, I change not. I don't care what these people tell you. I'm telling you what the book say. This is what the book say. And not just me telling you. You can read it yourself. So you don't even want to hear my voice. Matthew 7:13-14. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. And there are many that enter through that gate. 14. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Man, do you get it, man? Like I said, this stuff don't take no rocket science. You just have to read it for yourself. And I know majority of the time we go somewhere where all we do is get motivated. We hear a couple scriptures and sing and dance, and we get motivated. And at the end of the day, he just told you, few gonna find it. He ain't say all gonna find it. Everybody who go on Sunday. He told you what day to go. He told you what day to celebrate. Another man changed it. And guess what the other man just said? I just forgot about this, but it just came to my mind. The other man said, the Pope told a gay guy, it's all in the news right now, that God made you this way. Man, come on, man. Who is you playing with? See, that's where changing the laws right there. You say being gay is an abomination, right? But he said God made you this way, so he accepted. Come on, man. Cut that out. 1 John 4:3. Oh, I'm going to say this here too. Look it up yourself. Don't take nothing I say as stone. Look everything up. Do your own research and see who created. See who created Christianity. See who created Muslim. See who created all these different religions. See who created it. It's the same person who changed time and laws. All right. 1 John 4:3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Jesus Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And is this that spirit of the Antichrist, whereof ye have heard it, should come, and even now is already in this world. Well, we do know majority of these religions what they praise. We're gonna see. We're gonna get to it in a minute. Ezekiel 8:14. Then he brought me to the door of the gate of the Lord's house, which was toward the north, and behold, there sat women weeping for Tammuz. Who is Tammuz? Do you some research. Nimrod's son, Ishtar's son. Who is Ishtar? Statue of Liberty. Look it up on the government website, and what it's going to tell you. It's going to tell you the Statue of Liberty is a statue of Ishtar. Whatever. These are different gods. Y'all just don't even understand what y'all dealing with. That's a little deep. All right, we got the crosses right here. We got different religions. We got the crosses. What does the crosses stand for? I just told you who Nimrod's son was, right? His son is named Tammuz. What is a cross? That is a T. What is Tammuz? Tammuz is the sun god. And what day you go to church? Sunday. So you gonna have crosses pretty much at every church you go to. And a lot of these churches, you look in the windows, they got suns there. And the cube is the Muslim and all this and that and another. You got Buddha and Budina or whatever they name. I don't know. I don't pay attention to all that, and I don't compete with all these different religions. I'm just saying, if you're gonna read the Holy Bible, you have to at least know what you're doing. If you're gonna go off the Holy Bible, these are the people I'm talking to. Now, if a Muslim or any of these religions want to convert, I have no problem. It's not that I'm not talking to you. It's just that the fact of the matter is, I don't like the fact that these people are going into, they it's like faking. We go to church. We had the same book, but how could my book say something different than yours if we had the same book? If I have a blue car, that means I have a blue car. If you got a red car, that means your car red. That don't mean you can take anything from it or add nothing to it. So, like I told you, interpretation is what? It's an opinion. And a lot of opinions are what? Lies. Revelation 18:4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of their sins, and that ye receive not her plagues. What is it telling you come out of? It been telling you what is it saying? Is this interpretation? No, not at all, because you just read, I just read. The fact of the matter is telling you all you want to do is be like the heathen. All you trying to do is be like the heathen. All you doing is everything the heathen does. You celebrating all these different gods, all these different religions. That's what it's telling you. Come out of her, my people. Come from among them, right? Exodus 24. You shall not make for yourself an image in the form of anything in heaven above, or the earth beneath, or in the waters below. You see these images right here? He just told you don't do it. But what do we do? Are these idols? I'm just asking. I mean, what did they make? I just told you earlier what they made when Moses went and talked to the Most High. He went and talked to God up on the mountain, and he came down, and what they made? A golden calf. Right there. Bull. What do people put in their houses of wood and stone? A cross with this Jesus guy hanging on it, right? They have it everywhere. People put angels everywhere in their house, in their vehicles, everywhere. They wear all this stuff on their neck. Star. Well, that's of in the heavens, right? An angel, that's up in the heavens, right? Just saying, just told you don't do none of that, but we do it anyway. Jeremiah 10:14. Hear ye the word of which, excuse me, the Lord spoken unto you, O house of Israel. Thus say the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cut off a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of a workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with nails and with a hammer, that it move not. All right, you just heard what I said. You just heard what it, or you just read it. So what is it talking about? What house, what tree that you get that's cut down and you decorate it with silver and gold that you learn from somebody else? Oh, there you go. You see it? And what you put on top of that tree? You put on top of that tree a star. And he just told you don't put nothing in your house. Or don't put nothing, don't even have nothing of an image of in the heavens. And he told you, what else? That angel too, right? Because you put that angel on top of your tree too. That is the customs of the heathen. See, that's what it's all about. He been telling you this all through the whole book. But guess what we do? We follow the customs of the heathen. That's why he keeps saying, y'all just whoring after the heathen. And do you know that Jesus was not born on December 25th? You know that? I didn't mention, but you go back to that part about Tammuz. Guess what? Tammuz was born on December 25th. Romans 11:26. And so all Israel shall be saved, as it is written. And do you get that part? Because evidently we blind. We don't see nothing. Do you get that part? Did he say a Muslim? Did he say a Baptist, Pentecostal, Buddha, whatever? Did he say a Christian? Not one time. He said all of Israel will be saved. Apostle Paul said out of his own mouth, I am a Hebrew from birth. I am an Israelite from the son of Benjamin. He never called himself a Christian. Christian was something that was being fun. That's like calling a black man an N-word or call like a woman a B-word. Christian is brought up 4 times in the Bible, whereas Hebrew, Israelite is brought up over 4,000 times. Come on, man. It don't make sense. You gotta pay attention. It looks like many are under the delusion, don't you think? And remember, all of Israel will be saved, not one religion. This is great. I mean, this is major stuff. I mean, this is not to like just hurt anybody. This is to let you know that a majority of everything we've been taught has been wrong. As you can see, we go to church on Sunday. We celebrate Christmas. We celebrate Easter, a rabbit laying an egg, which is not happening, and rabbit is an unclean animal. So, I mean, what we celebrate Halloween. We celebrate um the first of the year, where the first of the year is when? Right around Passover. That's the first of the year. Jesus said he gonna change time and laws. See what I'm saying? But we're gonna keep on going. James 2:20. But wilt thou know, O vain man, that faith without works is dead? Well, let's see what he's talking about with faith without works is dead, because at the end of the day, God say, follow my laws and commandments, right? Jesus say, if you love me, you'll follow my commandments. Well, you can sit up here and confess that Jesus died for our sins, but if you're not doing the work, that is dead. That's what they say. Faith without works is dead, right? Come on, man. You got to live by this. This is the life. Isaiah 31:7. For in that day every man shall cast away his idols of silver and his idols of gold, which our own hands have made you for a sin. We're going to get to what a sin is in a minute. I want y'all to see that. Habakkuk 2:18. What profit the graven image that the maker thereof have graven it? The molten image. You heard the molten image. And a teacher of lies, that the maker of his work trusteth therein to make dumb idols. So when you see that bull, the little wood image of a monster looking thing, I think I forget who praised that, but you see that Jesus on the cross and all that stuff. That's what it's talking about. Cause we gonna see that ain't even Jesus right there. And now I know how to piss y'all off, right? Check it out. Matthew 7:22-23. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name? And in thy name have we cast out devils? And in thy name done many wonderful works? Guess what Jesus is going to say? And then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work in iniquity. Do we know what iniquity is? Works in sin, right? Okay. Revelation 2:9-9. I know thy works, and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogues of Satan. What are you talking about? He's saying he know his people, his Jews are broke, are poor, and they go through many tribulations. That what they say. But he know they works. Cause what? Faith without works is dead, right? All right. This is Revelation, man. Come on. Behold, I will make them of the synagogue of Satan, which say they are Jews and are not, but do lie. Behold, I will make them come and worship before thy feet, and to know that I have loved you, or I have loved thee. It's the same thing. Well, I mean, we're going to go to the next one because Exodus 4, 6 through 7. And the Lord said furthermore unto him, put now thy hand into thy bosom. And he put his hand in thy bosom, and when he took it out, behold, his hand was leprous as snow. I mean, his hand was white, right? And he said unto him, put his hand back in the bosom, and it return to the natural color, right? Bow! See this right here? Jesus on the cross, been nailed to a cross, right? You see all the little dots with little fake blood and all this here? See this guy right here? If he turned his hands white as snow, would that be a big difference? I'm just asking, would that be a difference? If he turned their hands white as snow, right? He said, I understand your poverty. He said, I see your poverty and your tribulation, but thou art rich. And then they say our Jews are not synagogues of Satan. Well, these people rich. These are on these platforms like YouTube, Facebook, music, all the music you put out. They're on everything. So who is he talking to them? And if they turn lepers, would that be a big difference? There wouldn't be no big difference, would it? Numbers 12:10. And the cloud departed from off the tabernacle, and behold, Miriam became leprous, white as snow. All right, that's Moses' sister. See, at first, Moses' hand stuck his hand in the bosom and became white. His hand became white as snow. He put it back and came into a natural color. Now, if you read a little before and a little after, Miriam was mocking Moses because he had married Ethiopian. And so this is what majority of people try to say. See, he married an Ethiopian. Y'all don't get it. Just because I could marry a woman. Just because of simple fact, you marry a woman of another nation, don't mean y'all different colors. Do you get it? See, they was talking about him because they want him to marry within Israel because he's a Hebrew. But he got an Ethiopian. That doesn't mean he wasn't black, does it? That's like Italians. Italians try to stick to their nature, right? Italian marry British, a person of Britain. They're gonna mock them, right? See, that's what's going on. Just because that ain't got nothing to do with nothing. That ain't got nothing to do with it. And I'm gonna prove it to you. What's going on? Because I could talk about this all day. All right, this right here. This is back when Hitler was getting ready to lose his war. Oh, look at what Hitler said before he died. Now I got what I want to read highlighted, and I want y'all to pay attention to it. Do you know who America has in its possession? What do you mean, said his precious jewels? What do you mean, his precious jewels? The soldier asked. Hitler said, America has stolen the Jews of God, his jewelry, the Negroes. We're going to move further and say, and they plan on moving these false white Jews into a state of Israel. So it ain't just me talking, and it ain't just the book. We're going to go farther in the book on it too. This is the president, or whatever you want to call him, of Egypt back in the 50s. When he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, whatever his name, stated the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white. You get that thing on the side note right there? They know who you are. You don't. And that's the problem. You want to follow behind the heathen and serve other gods. Now, this right here is the curses of Deuteronomy. If you go before it, it's the blessings. And if you go where we're going now, 28:64, 28, I believe, to chapter 28, it's the curse of Deuteronomy. And we're going to see who went through these curses. Now, I just showed you a couple times already in the scripture that the people who say they are Jews are not. And I showed you what a couple of the presidents said, right? But see, Deuteronomy, that's going to take a lot more reading. And man, I've been at it for a minute. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause and I'm going to let my wife go through this with you.
Hey guys, this is Melissa, and I will be going over the curses in Deuteronomy. Now, the curses in Deuteronomy is so specific to a group of people, and you're going to figure it out when I go through it. But I just wanted to highlight some things about Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy is going to have the blessings and curses, and also some of the laws and statutes that Stephen was talking about earlier in the video. Now, the five books at the beginning of the Bible are so important. You have Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, and also you have Numbers. Now, all five of these books are known as the Book of Moses. These are going to tell you all the laws and statutes and the commandments. Now, if you think there's only 10 commandments that you have to follow in order to earn your way into the gates of heaven, well, you're highly mistaken. Um, there are other laws that we have to abide by, and thus saith the Lord, He wants it forever and ever. Example: one of the laws are women should not wear anything that pertaineth to a man, and a man should not wear anything that pertaineth unto a woman. So when you see Tyler Perry dressing up as Medea in his dress, that's an abomination. You see Janae, what's her name? Janae Monet. I forget her name. She always wears pantsuits and everything, but that is not what he has called us to do. That is becoming as the heathen does. That's just one law. There's plenty of laws of eating unclean animals, such as uh, the pig. It is an abomination as well. You cannot eat it. You can't even touch it. But anyway, what I'm hitting at here is that um, we've been giving all of this, and we still decide to go and do something else. If you didn't know, the Bible is a history book. It goes from the beginning to the end. Genesis is the beginning, Revelation is the end. It goes throughout history, and if you even pull up some of the history books, it even coincides with that, when the different slaveries that the Hebrews went through, the different conquerors that came over the land, such as the Babylonians, the Syrians, the Greeks, the Romans. That's all talked about in the Bible, specifically Daniel, when Daniel had his dream about um, the statue that King Nebuchadnezzar had a dream about. He actually goes into depth about what was seen in that dream, and we could go into that, but that's a whole nother lesson. But what I'm basically also hitting at is that, Noah, he all throughout the Bible, we had great men who wanted to lead the people into worshiping the Most High and stop going toward the heathen. If you didn't know, but Noah had prophesied to the people that he had lived around for 120 years. You probably don't know that because that's in one of the lost books called as the Book of Jasher. If you haven't read that, it's a great book of the Bible that's missing. That is give you a little bit even more information. Anyway, Noah prophesied to the people for 120 years. 120, that's a long time to try to get to reach someone. But in the end, as you know, Noah and only his sons and his wives and his wife were saved from the great flood, because like Stephen went over, there is the wide gate that people go through and it leads to destruction, and then there's the gate the narrow path that leads to eternal life, and they went through that narrow gate, whereas the rest wanted to go as the heathen did and serve those idols of wood and stone and get caught up in um, the blasphemy that had been going on throughout the years. And also, something great about the Bible is that it's prophesizing. um, Enoch, he was one of the great prophets of his time, before Noah, before Moses, before Abraham. Enoch was a great man of God, and he even saw in the Bible where the great flood would come. He prophesied about Noah, and there's also a lost book called the Book of Enoch. Enoch was a great man of God, and he prophesied that Noah would, a Hebrew, which is Noah, would go into this great flood, and there would be many that would die. So what I'm saying with this is that prophecy, the Bible is always spot on with all its prophecies. Nostradamus has nothing on the Bible. You hear me? Everything that has gone through the Bible comes to light. So that's one thing about Deuteronomy. It foreshadows what would happen to the Hebrews if they were not to follow the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So, with all that being said, let's jump into Deuteronomy. All right, let's start off with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 47 through 50. Because thou servest not the Lord thy God with joyfulness and with gladness of heart for the abundance of all things. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Let's kind of break this down a little bit first. Verse 47 is because the Hebrews would not serve the Lord God with joyfulness and gladness. It is not just today, but it also was in biblical time. Let's for what example, when Moses led the Hebrews out of captivity in Egypt, they wandered the wilderness, and Moses went up to talk with the Most High for 40 nights. And the crowd grew restless. So what they did was they built, or they made a god of gold, the bull that you saw before in the slide, and they praised it and they danced, um, and to the point where Moses heard it, and he came down from um, from where he was worshiping the Most High, and he threw the 10 commandments down at them because they were blaspheming the Most High right there. And what was one of the punishments for them not serving the Most High? They were forced to walk the wilderness for 40 years and die off until the ones who were ready to serve the Most High, to enjoy that inheritance that he was giving him, that giving them the land of milk and honey. There's always a consequence to everyone's actions. So one thing that we've been talking about is that everybody want to do as the heathen do. Okay. Now, even if you hear this message and you know the truth and you decide to do what you want to do, that's you blindly, not no, excuse me, not blindly, that's you going into knowing the full truth and you yet want to believe a lie. And he said that you would want to believe the lie instead of follow after the Most High. You want to follow after the heathens. And that's why in 48 it says you will serve the enemies, your enemies, for your blasphemous. He shall put a yoke of iron around thy neck until he have destroyed thee. There is a group of people that has happened to put a yoke around their neck, chain them up in nakedness in a ship, and sent them across the nations as slaves, and been broken ever since until they have destroyed thee. Y'all think about that. Then he says, the Lord shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand. A nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor show favor to the young. What nation do you know where the eagle flieth? Uh, I know one. I live in one, and it has an eagle on the dollar bill. Did y'all hear that? A nation against thee from far, as swift as the eagle flieth. A nation of fierce countenance. We have, military, trade, arsenal that could take down a lot of countries, and that's why America is feared. Do they regard any of the persons of old or new or young? No. But if you don't take my word for it, do your own research. Pull up Deuteronomy. Read these same words. And all this is coming out of the King James Version. Let's look at Deuteronomy 28, verses 30 and 31. Thou shalt betroth a wife, and another man shall lie with her. Thou shalt build an house, and thou shalt not dwell therein. Thou shalt plant a vineyard, and shalt not gather the grapes thereof. If as you watch the slavery movies, you see this happening over and over, because I know we haven't lived in slavery time, so that what we have is movies, and we have memories from our grandparents or great grandparents that have these memories where the bridal party, excuse me, or the bride would marry her beau, and instead of staying the night with her new husband, she would go to the big house where she would lie with the master of the house first, and then she would able to lie with her husband. It's happened. Thou shalt build a house and shall not dwell therein. There's one big house that we know that someone lives in that we've never been able to since recently when Barack Obama became president. But we built the White House. We planted those vineyards. We gathered those grapes, cotton, tobacco, sugarcane, anything that was grown in that region. But we were not the ones profiting from that. Thou shalt beget sons and daughters, but thou shalt not enjoy them, for they shall go into captivity. There are so many lost records of parents and their children, that they have never found their children again. There's plenty of records, but we don't know who they belong to. If you see some of these documentaries, um, children were separated from their mothers and fathers and sold into captivity to another in another state, uh, and never got to know their sons and daughters. Then the Lord will scatter you among all nations from one end of the earth to the other. There you will worship other gods, gods of wood and stone, which neither you nor your ancestors have known. That's very powerful. That's another powerful. Deuteronomy chapter 28 is the most powerful chapter, and it really hits on who we are as Israel or Hebrews, and who, if as Stephen touched on, those Jews that we're talking about right now that is in Israel, um, they aren't poor. They are not in poverty. They're rich. Let's look at Mike Zuckerberg. He is the I might is it Mike Zuckerberg? Zuckerberg. I forget his first name, but the guy who invented Facebook, he's a Jew. He has money. Do you think this is pertaining to the Jews that are now in Israel? We just told you that the ones that say there are Jews are not, and they're the synagogue of Satan. We've already touched on the Hebrews or the Israelites left as black and they came back as white. How did that happen? We have been programmed that slavery is the first thing, is that's the first part of our history. Like we never even existed before slavery. And this is why, because it's been a secret. This is the biggest secret that's been in history. We don't even know who we are, but others know who we are. Because we just think that our history starts with slavery. We are worshiping gods of wood and stone. If you didn't know, we're worshiping the cross. That's wood. You get stone with the Jesus on the cross being crucified. You even worship it when you go to church, the big cross. And guess what? Be around that behind that cross every time, a big old sun. You worshiping the sun. You're doing the same thing. If you've been reading the Bible, if you've read the Bible, you know that this has been happening over and over. It happens so much that in Jeremiah it says, "Lord, did you just make us to be slaves?" And I had someone who I talked to about this, and they was like, "Well, if if the Most High just had us to be slaves all this time, well, I don't want to worship someone like that." I said, and that's the wax heart and the rebellious people, the stiff necked people that's talked about all throughout the Bible, because that attitude. All the Most High wants you to do is follow the laws and statutes and love Him. But instead of running up to these heathens and doing as the heathen do, He set aside feast days, or if you want to say holidays, but feast days is what He set for us to worship. Not Valentine's Day, not Memorial Day, not Christmas or Halloween or Thanksgiving. Those are not mentioned nowhere in the Bible to celebrate. Oh, it's mentioned to don't do it because that's what the heathen do, but he's never given you those holidays to worship. And if you notice, a lot of those holidays are around feast days, so to confuse the people, so you can worship the other gods. I'm just saying. And among those nations you will find no repose, no resting place for the sole of your foot. There the Lord will give you an anxious mind, eyes weary with longing, and a despairing heart. You will live in constant suspense, filled with dread both night and day, never sure of your life. In the morning you will say, "If only it were evening," and in the evening, "If only it were morning," because of the terror that will fill your hearts and the sights that your eyes will see. Imagine the type of sights that must have been seen during this hardship of our ancestors. The sins of the father, the sins of the mother, are now the sins of the children. It's been almost 400 years since the start of slavery because our ancestors decided that they were not going to serve the Most High with joyfulness and gladness in their heart, but they're going to do as the heathen do. Now they're, if only were morning or if only were evening. Their bodies and flesh been torn apart by dogs, hung from a tree, raped, tongue cut off, breast cut off, legs cut off so you can't run. The terrors they must have seen. The Lord will send you back in ships to Egypt, on a journey I said you should never make again. There you will offer yourselves for sale to your enemies as male and female slaves, but no one will buy you. Back to back in ships to Egypt. There's not many groups of people that I know have been sent on ships across all the nations, scattered throughout the nations, back to Egypt. Egypt was slavery for the Hebrews. Egypt was one of the cruelest slaveries before the slave trade. Egyptians used to take the Hebrew babies. If you didn't meet a certain quota, they would take the Hebrew babies and put them in place of the bricks. Hebrew babies were found in pyramids or whatever that were building for the Egyptians. If you didn't meet that quota, it's in the book of Jasher, and this is another lost book that we have that was taken away from the Bible because they don't want you to know about everything. But if you put all these books together from the Apocrypha, book of Jasher, and the book of Enoch, it all is chronologically sound. They all go in chronological order. Because I've always said to myself, okay, how when we get to Matthew, all of a sudden we have Romans? What happened? Because it has that gap between everything. But I digress. That's another lesson. But anyway, what I was saying about is that Egypt would put the babies in the pyramids. What did they do? The babies in slavery in America. They used to use them as gator bait while the children, while the parents were sleeping in their huts. They would come and take their children, and they would set the children out and tie them up to a tree or a limb that's hanging over the water. And as the baby cried, the crocs would, or the gators would slowly inch up and snatch those children and eat them. Look it up. It's in our history. Gator bait is what they used to call it. No one will buy you. No one. No one can save you from this. And if you kind of look through some of the things, it's only a remnant of Israel that will be saved. A remnant. Small, small remnant. Because they're the people don't have the eyes to see, don't have the ears to hear. Because they don't want to. They want to believe the lie. And I told you that the Bible is a history book. So if the Bible is a history book and I told you that the prophecies have always come true, and if you look in Revelation, that's the end of the Bible. It's giving you signs and warnings of what's to come. And we're living in that day now. So you should heed to the words of the Most High to have that eternal life. But again, these are not our words. These are the words of the Most High. This is found in the Bible, which you can pick up any day and read. Stop and pause this video if you need to just kind of flip it up, flip through it, and see what it is. Anyway, what people in history did this happen to? All right, so like I said, Deuteronomy is a prophecy of what was to happen to the people if they did not obey the laws and statutes and the commandments of the Most High. It wasn't nothing that had happened already. It was just something that was given to the people saying, hey, this is what's going to happen if you do this. And they did that and they went into slavery. So now it's a part of history. Our today now it's a part of our history because the prophecy came true. So again, don't think that that happened and then they all of a sudden they talked about it. No, it was a prophecy that would happen in future tense or something that they did not do, which they ended up doing it anyway, even though they were given that warning and they were sent into slavery. So I'm gonna turn this back over to Stephen, and he's gonna give you a little bit more of the word.
All right, this Steve. I'm back at it again. So, what people in history did this happen to on record at any time? We're gonna go through that. We're gonna go through that. But I want to go over some of the stuff my wife was talking about, as far as sending you back to Egypt. Let's take a wild look at sending you back to Egypt. Well, in Egypt, they had a pyramid sitting by a river, right, with a sphinx, right? You go to Memphis, Tennessee, you see a pyramid sitting by the river, Mississippi River, with a sphinx. Look it up. Ain't no lie. In Las Vegas, right where they did that shooting at, right across was a big old pyramid. On the back of your dollar was a pyramid. Memphis itself is in Egypt. Cairo is in Egypt. Y'all have to pay attention, man. Look, everything is coming to pass and it's amazing. But don't be left behind. I ain't talking about the movie. I'm talking about left behind with knowledge. Do your own research. Don't listen to nothing we say. Hear it, but do your own due diligence. August 21st, they had a solar eclipse. Solar eclipse went from Salem, Oregon, and passed all the way across the United States. And it passed by Cairo, and it passed by Egypt. See, In Hebrew, an eclipse is judgment. An eclipse is judgment. Well, a month after that, September 23rd, the Revelations 12 sign. I believe it's 12. It's either 12 or 13. Where the woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. That sign happened on September 23rd. A lot of us don't even know. Some of us do. Now, everybody asks me, well, what's going to happen? Do you know a sign is for what's coming next? You know that? A sign is what's going to happen, what was coming forward. You don't see a yield sign right when it's time to yield. You don't see a stop sign right when it's time to stop. It's what's ahead. But a lot of us, we so stuck in all these different things, we're not even paying attention to what the book is actually telling us. 2024, look it up. Another solar eclipse that's 7 years later is going to come and cross over the United States again. This time the opposite side. What they say X marks the spot, well, it's going to be a total X on the United States. But if you pay attention to what the book say my people be afflicted in a land that's not theirs for 400 years. And if you read the book of Joshua, you read the book of Enoch, and study the Bible itself, you will see what time we're in. You will understand the statue of Daniel. When Daniel talked about the statue to Nebuchadnezzar, when Nebuchadnezzar had a dream, all that was the different slaveries and bondages that the Hebrew Israelites was in. That's what that's about. The Greek, the Persian, the last one was the European. And wasn't they in um, captivity when they was in Babylon? See, all these different things come from Babylon. All the different religions, all they come from Babylon. The Tower of Babel, that was in Iraq. Iraq is Babylon. But most people took into the different religions. They called Nimrod a mighty hunter of souls. I done told you that already. These people, man, you don't have to believe what I say. If you do, some of y'all already know this already, and it's fine. That is great. If you know, hopefully it's an encouragement for you. If you don't know, then hopefully it inspires you. If you do know and just not doing right, that's a choice. See, that's the thing about it. We all given a choice. We all given a choice. We're gonna move forward. Revelation 1:14-15. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. His eyes were like a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burn in a furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. Well, he had a white head, that for sure. Hair all over here, white face, his beard, and all that was white. See, you know, when you Hebrew, you got to keep your hair. All that was white, but his legs, well, it says his feet. Some say his legs and his feet, but his legs, well, I mean, his feet were like fine brass burnt in the furnace. When you burn brass, what color it turn? Black. Songs of Solomon 1-5. 1:5. I am black, but commonly, O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of the Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. You see this right here? See, that's the slave ship right there. And that right there is a holy Bible. Man, this stuff is in your face and you don't see it not whatsoever. Now, right now, that's what we're talking about. Who did this stuff happen to? You see the slave ship and you see the Bible, right? It's in your face, man. But why you letting them teach you this other stuff? What he just told you? You're going to go to another nation, another land that isn't yours, that speak a different tongue than you do, and you're going to be following other gods. He just said that. It just said it in Deuteronomy. But all us think we got it, right? And all us be told laws and statutes, commandments don't matter. They done away with. After Jesus just said, if you love me, keep my commandments. Jesus just said, I didn't come to do away with the law. God said, and God gave you these laws. God gave Moses these laws to give to you, that you should pass them down from generation to generation to generation. But he said you want to follow the heathen so much, right? Am I just talking? I mean, I just showed you all the scriptures. I want to do is follow the heathen. So he sent you among the heathen. Sent you to the eagle. Another nation as swift as the eagle fly. Fierce nation with can't nobody mess with them. And y'all gotta realize, see, all that stuff is Deuteronomy. That's different time frames. You can even read a little farther to say you were loan from them, but they won't loan from you. Or you were borrowed from them and they won't borrow from you. Well, that's the time we're in right now. And he also say the world is given to the wicked. So you have to pay close attention to everything that's going on, because at the end of the day, he left this book for you. He said, you seek me, you will find me. If you open your eyes that you can see, and you open your ears that you can hear, then you can be restored, right? But of course not. We all got it together already. But see, look, that's the slave ships. That's a picture of the slave ships. And you can see the slave ships on the book of the Bible. Yokes around your neck. Yoke iron around your neck. Right there. That ain't happening to nobody else. None, not whatsoever. Where the slave trade at? You see it? This is the slave trade right here. Where right there where it's highlighted at. If you go right above the red in the blue, it's a Kingdom of Judah or Wauda, slave coast, Jews in Africa. Well, back in 7 AD, they fled Israel. They had to flee because the Romans came and took them over, right? Well, who sold the people to these people, to the Europeans? Who sold them? It was the Arabs and the Africans. They tell you come from Africa because you actually did come from Africa, but you're not African. And the first thing that some of them will say, oh, well, y'all sold your own people. No, you don't sell your own people. What happened, these people kept their customs. If you do your research, you'll find it out too. These people kept their customs of following what the Bible says. Because, see, you don't get punished. You get punished for what you do, but your children get the punishment for what their ancestors did. Put it like this. Your people came over here on ships because of what your ancestors did, not because of what you did, right? You get my point. This is a slave trade right here. This is all the different places they went to all over the world. All over the world. This is where all the people went to. He said, I'm going to scatter you amongst the earth. He said, one will come from you from the other end of the world. You see right there, arrow, major slave route. Right there, the other end of the world. Now, as we read, that's more or less like what Jesus looked like, because that's what it say. And if you also read a little more, it say women wasn't really attracted to him too. He wasn't an attractive man. Y'all gonna say, oh, blah, blah, blah. Man, that's what the book say. Acts 5:30, Acts 10:39, Acts 13:29, 1 Peter 2:24, Galatians 3:13. Like we say, precept on precept, line upon line. Two or more witnesses, every word should be established, right? That's what the book say. That's what it said. So let's be real. The God of our fathers raised up Jesus, whom ye slew and hanged on a tree. And our wit when and we are witnesses of all these things he did both in the land of the Jews and in Jerusalem, whom they slew and hanged on a tree. And when they had fulfilled all that has all that was written of him, they took him down from the tree and laid him in the sepulchre. In a sepulchre. I can't say that word. Whatever. Now that's three times it done said it, right? Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we, being dead to sins, should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. Christ hath redeemed us from the curse of the law, being made a curse for us. For it is written, cursed is everyone that hangeth on a tree. Y'all not getting that. See, evidently, everybody try to take this and say this, that, another. But I'm about to go a little further. I'm gonna go. See this right here? This is the people who hung from trees. And not one time it say he was on a cross, nailed to a cross, beat to a cross, say he was beaten and hung on a tree. What? Why is that in your face? Why is that in your face? Because it's a curse of everyone who hang from the tree. Why is that in your face? So you can see it. These people, same people, they beat Jesus and hung him. And they continue to do the same thing to the same people. The truth is the truth. You ain't gotta believe it. But guess what? Nowhere in that book will tell you he got nailed to a cross. Nowhere in there. And what did Deuteronomy say? That I'm gonna send you to a nation where they force you to believe other gods. Mm-hmm. Cause guess what? Used to when you go to church. I got a movie in there. I don't know the name of it. But when you go to church back in those days, for one, they wouldn't let you read, and two, when y'all was able to read, they had one man sitting on side you, the man of the other nation, making sure you preach what he wants you to preach, just like they do right now. Guess what? It's called a tax ID 503 CE. You cannot talk about certain things unless you're gonna have to pay taxes. But we ain't gonna go into that because guess what the Bible say about these preachers who out here living life right now while you struggling to pay your light bill. You struggling to pay your light bill, and they driving Bentleys or Benz. First thing everybody say, well, they doing their job, let them do mine. I can bring some scriptures up to show y'all. Preacher has no inheritance, not one. You give him 10%, that's so he can go preach around the world. Not for him to have planes on his own, not for him to have mansions, not for him to have these big old Benzes. You give him enough so he can eat, have somewhere to stay while he travel and preach the word. He's no king, not whatsoever. No king. He's supposed to live among you. Whatever you give, his inheritance, well, whatever you give him, you giving it to the Most High God. You giving it to God. So his inheritance is what? God. It's not all this money you give him. He man, well, I ain't gonna go that far. I ain't gonna go too bad. But I'm just saying, man. And then guess what he doing? He make you come to church on Sunday. Well, let's see. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Oh, he having come to church every day, but the main day is Sunday, and they pay tithes every time, right? Mm-hmm. Cause guess why? He all about money. The Apocrypha, the Apocrypha, that was one of the books took out the Bible. But if you look up the 1611 Bible, it was made in 1600s. It has the Apocrypha in it. Why they took it out? Well, you about to see why. Wisdoms of Solomon, 5:11, 1, 2, 4, 7, 4 through 5, and 7. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such that has afflicted him and made no account of his labors. That's often. I mean that's been going on forever, right? When a person go through slavery, you don't account of their labor, right? And you've been afflicted by them. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear, and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, so far beyond all they look for. Why would that say that? That say that for a specific reason. Because it's not what you being taught. That's no interpretation. That's the truth. It say so far beyond all they look for. Because they teach you something else. Watch this. It's about to go worse. For we fools accounted his life as madness and his end to be without honor. Well, let's see. Do they still do that? Let's see. They killed Alden Sterling. First thing they do when they kill a Hebrew, guess what they do? Now, don't get me wrong. I can't say all these Hebrews is righteous. I can't say none of that. I can't say that. But this is what I can say. When they kill one of these Hebrews, guess what they do? First thing they do is pull up his record. What it say? We fools accounted his life as madness and his end to be without honor. Nobody respect when you kill these people, man. None. How is he numbered among the children of God? And his lot is among the saints. See, you see that? How could he be chosen? How is he? Y'all just don't get it. We reared ourselves in the way of of wickedness and destruction, but as for the way of the Lord, we have not known it. Wow, do you get it? Do you get it? See, it's there. See, it's all in your face. It's all in your face. He said, "You seek me, you'll find me. You open your eyes, you open your ears. You there." I mean, none of us perfect, but all these people, if you pay attention, all these people, they kill all these Hebrews, whether the Hebrews is righteous or not, who knows? They kill these Hebrews and they give him no honor. These police don't go to jail. Hell, we kill ourselves too. The only difference is when we kill ourselves, and that's what everybody don't talk about. The difference is when we kill ourselves, guess what? They just suspect we killed one another. We going to jail. These folk get on TV, on camera, and kill you. The first thing they do is bring your record up. Man, y'all ain't hearing it, bro. But that's just God. God trying to show you. What did they do in Egypt? They cried out to God. They didn't go to Pharaoh. What we do now? We go to Pharaoh. What is Pharaoh? Pharaoh is a system. We go march. We go protest. We go tear up stuff. And then we end up having to pay more taxes on it to fix it. We don't cry out to God. We don't cry out to God. We don't cry out to Him. Because He put us in a place that we can't even defeat without Him. If you read the book of Joshua, the Hebrews were small in number, but were strong. And they was able to, two people was able to tear down a country, well, a city. Why? Because they had God behind them. It's serious. Acts 20, 29, 30. For I know this, that after my departing shall grievous wolves enter in among you, not sparing the flock. Also, of your own selves shall men arise, speaking perverse things to draw away disciples after them. That is, man, the book telling you the same thing the whole time, man. It's just telling you the same thing. But we got it right. Christianity, we got it right, right? Mind you, nobody in that said there was a Christian. Ah! Everybody say, I am a Hebrew or I am an Israelite from blood, right? Now, this has nothing to do with race or nothing like that. But I'm just saying, I just want to touch the people because at the end of the day, the people who've been shunned on slave ships to all the four corners of the earth, and they're still being oppressed. Those are the chosen people. It ain't these rich guys that's living in Israel right now. He said, "I'm gonna give that to the Gentiles." He say that long if you find him, you will be restored. This is not me talking. I can't pull up every little old scripture I'm talking about because I'm talking, But you got to read yourself, and it's crazy, man. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. And it's Revelation 2:9 again. I know thy works and thy tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich, and I know them. I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are synagogues of Satan. All that ain't in there for nothing. Is in there for a reason, man. I mean, all this stuff is telling you something. I mean, all I'm trying to do is speak to the people who have a little bit of open eyes, a little bit of open ears, so they could get some understanding. And it's really not me talking. This is the book. This is God that gave us this book, but a lot of us don't see. Actually, my grandpa, he told me, say, man, is this something you read? Or is this something you just found out? Or is it something that been here? I said, it's something I just found out. Well, we probably already know. Nah, a lot of people don't know. If they know, they don't even care. I talk to people every day, and it's just the truth and the stuff I see. He said you're gonna sing amongst nations where you're gonna give in to other gods, and that's what's going on all over this nation. What is the definition of sin? Sin, I mean, because they say we did away with the law, right? Jesus abolished the law. That's what they say. He gave grace. Nah, for that time, y'all don't realize for that time, you gotta read the book. For that time, he died for your sins because God was ready to destroy the earth. So he died for your sin. He took in all your sins. But if you're born in sin, we are born in sin. What is sin? An immoral act considered to be a transgression of against the divine law. Bow. So if if we live under grace and we don't have to abide by the law, I go kill somebody right now. I go kill, no, 70. How many times he forgive you? I'm gonna just say this here. I go kill 150 people, right? I can still go to heaven. He only forgive you so many times, right? I could go steal much as I want, still go to heaven. I could do this, do that. What he told you, faith without works is dead. Get yourself together, man. This is bull. That we actually even considering. John 14:15. If ye love me, keep my commandments. Where's the commandments? Oh, we just do the New Testament. Where's the commandments? It's in the Old Testament, man. Come on, quit playing with yourself. Who you letting fool you? 2 Corinthians 6:17. Wherefore, come out of from among them, and be ye separate, said the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you. Well, there's so many things of unclean. It's food, it's religion, it's all that stuff. See, all these people, oh, I talk to God, man. Yeah, you talk to God, all right. Your God, you talk to the devil, right? Come on, man. He said he'll receive you when you come from among them. When you come out of this religion, when you come out of um, Sunday churches and stuff like that, because he say he only do it on he wants you to do it on Saturday. He ain't say do it on Sunday. But we've been taught that, so I don't knock nobody. I'm just saying, when you find out, if I tell you 1 + 1 is 1, but when you find out I've been lying to you the whole time, what do? You believe the truth. You don't believe the lie. But he say, I'm still a strong delusion. So you will believe a lie because you want to be like the heathen. John 14:23-24. Jesus answered and said unto him, if a man love me, he will keep my words. What is his words? And my Father will love him, and we will come unto him and make our abode with him. 24. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me. That's a little tongue twist to me a little bit. But anyway, you love me, keep my commandments. You love me, keep the statutes and the laws. He said, I am the word. So if you believe in what somebody else say, he's saying you don't love him. He said, he that loveth me not, keepeth not my sayings. You see it. You can read it yourself, man. If the world hate you, you know that it hated me before it hated you. If ye were of the world would love his own. But because ye are not of the world, but I have chosen you out of the world, therefore the world hateth you. So, you see what I say? Do you get it? If the world love you, you're not doing the right thing. But guess what? I know y'all gonna be mad at me. Not all y'all. Some of y'all will accept this because this is the truth. This is not a religion. This is of a culture of people. That's what this is. This is a culture of people. It's not, like I said, it's not racist because at the end of the day, it's just telling you I chose you. Gentiles. What is the definition of a Gentile? Gentiles are other nations. Well, other nations can be accepted in, but you have to go look at the book of Ruth. She was a Moabite when she was with Naomi's son. Naomi had two sons. They had two wives, and when the two sons died, Naomi told them, "Go on about your business. You can go live your life." One went on about her business. Ruth said, "No, your God is my God. Your people is my people." So he's showing you how to get accepted, far as even if you are a Gentile. But majority of the Gentiles will not accept you. Well, if they don't accept you, how they gonna accept Jesus? Oh man, it's too much. But anyway, at the end of the day, guys, look, it's been fun, man. It's been great, and I hope y'all enjoyed it. Like I say, it's for educational purposes only. You don't want to talk to me no more about this. You don't want to talk to me no more after this, man. That's great because I don't need people like that around me because I am practicing the faith. I am not living like the heathen. I am trying my best to move forward and do what this book say. I done had people, as far as family members, most family members are fake. Um, I ain't gonna go there. I ain't gonna go all into that. But I done had people, as far as family members and friends, try to talk to me about the Bible and stuff like that. I never agreed with it. Why? Because I never felt that you could have a Benz while I can't pay my water bill. If you are a servant of the Lord, the Most High God, then your people, you should not do better than your people. And if you believe that you is, then you are all under the delusion too. But that's still what dog get played, man. And just check it out, bro. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I'll make another video if y'all ask me to. If y'all put certain things in the comments. And cause we can I made a video about food, different things. Man, look, I'm gone, man. I'm done.